Myself again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA, and I got my Wisconsin hat on for the WIS Direct Marketing Association. We're having a meetup on the 29th, which is next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Chicago time, and we've got a whole host of characters already registered. But if you didn't get a personal invite, it's because you haven't done enough to get connected with the WDMA. But there's still time. There's still hope. You got nothing better to do this weekend than sign up and register. It's on LinkedIn. And if you go to WDMA, let's see. Yeah, just look up WDMA. It should come up. It comes right up for me, but that might be because I'm a member. And it's actually WIS. Just the WIS Direct Marketing Association. Okay, but it's in there. If you put WDMA, you might get the Window and Door Manufacturers Association, or there's something else in there you might get, but you'll get there. So WDMA on LinkedIn, and you'll see the post, and you just register there, and you'll get the LinkedIn and all that, and you can push a button, and you can put it on your calendar. How about that? And, you know, it's a short week. You don't have that much going anyway, and it'll be in the afternoon. So it's bring your own, but we should have a great time. We always have a great time. And we got some great people coming, so make a note. Okay, and now let's go on. And let's see what's cooking up that's fun, okay? This is one of the System 1 reviews. I always like those. Here we go.
So, what appears to be the problem?
I've just been feeling really strange lately. I keep getting these weird facial movements. I've got this feeling in my stomach like butterflies. I've got a spring in my step and my arms keep doing this.
Are you a Scotland fan?
Yes, Doctor.
I thought cases like this were long gone. You've got a bout of optimism.
What do I do?
Take 2 of these. Wash it down with this.
And get yourself to Germany!
Yeah, done, sir! Here we go! Yeah!
Let's go!
Nice one, Doc. What a result! Looks like Optimism is back in Scotland.
Mr. Andrews?
Now that is one weird outfit. I gotta say, this guy, he's got an outfit that looks like he's a little girl with nylon stockings on the shoulders of a Scotsman right there. And I didn't realize how this worked, but that's quite a clever costume. And if you don't know, the European Challenge or the European Championship is coming, and Scotland qualified. Only the best teams of all of the leagues around Europe qualify, and they did, and they qualified in 2020, I think, and so they're pretty excited about it. And so let's get over to System 1 and see if we can find out more about it. Okay, and there we go. Okay, after their return to the championships, European championships, they are feeling some optimism, right? And Iron Brew is a kind of is famous for taking a tongue-in-cheek approach to Scottish humor, and so this one rates really high. It's rated a 5.0, but when System 1 reviewed their previous big ones, their legendary 2001 Ram rating Granny, it got 5.6 stars, and we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, let's go over, just because I'm probably still stuck on here if I didn't do this right. Yeah, I'm still stuck on YouTube. Let me go figure out how to get Granny up here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. There's Granny. This is a pretty funny one. It's very short. Here comes Granny on her little mobile truck. The police are there. They warned her. Anyway, that one got lots of I don't know if she made off with anything. I can't figure it out. Anyway, I can't figure out half the commercials. And that's the truth. So let's get over to the article. Anyway, so instead of the usual pessimism, they're laughing at the unusual optimism. They're actually, this nation made a World Cup record called "Don't Come Home Too Soon," which is probably about how most, half the teams in the NCAA March Madness, half the teams are gone the first day, and by the first weekend, 2/3 or 3/4 of them, I think, 3/4 are gone. That's just to make it to the second weekend, and Wisconsin didn't make it this year. One interesting point that they made was that Iron Brew has gotten multiple 5-star scores with a UK audience, because that's where they run their testing. Okay, so they've been consistent. They built a brand around this tongue-in-cheek approach. They probably also have pretty good beer. That's key in consistency. That's what took down Schlitz, that made Milwaukee famous. So Euro 24 will be one of the most competitive advertising events of the year, but Iron Brew may have won the marketing tournament before the ball is even kicked. So cool. How about that? Oh, there's more. And there's more. Here's their overall ratings. 3.0 is the average. And so it predicts long-term market share growth. I don't know how. I'd like to know more about this. If John Evans will take some time with me, that would be great. It got a spike rating of 150, and the average for the soft drinks and water category is only 127. Now, this is a metric that really makes no sense, because 40%, it goes from 1 up, and 40% have above 132. So this is somewhere in the top 40%. What kind of a metric is that? You should always have a logarithmic scale that expands the scale as you get to the best end of it, I would say, but they don't listen to me. Fluency rating, this 90 is average. They did average. Okay, so that's that. And here's the I like this rating thing. This was one of the more interesting ones, because they'd had the doctor talking to the patient. They didn't tell you what the product was. And so if this is people seeing it for the first time, it wasn't until we got more than halfway through the commercial that we even found out what the product was. So it's amazing it rated so well. The other thing is that maybe because they have some kind of, especially the young lady has a Scotch lilt to her voice. There's some disgust and other stuff up here, which I thought was funny. And I was shocked that though Fluency waited till here, they didn't find a lot of surprise in the audience. It didn't. I thought there would be a similar spike and whoo, low, what is this? But maybe that because of the accent, they know what it is. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this. I just thought I'd tell you about it. I do enjoy System 1, and they always have interesting articles. Okay, so here's a story. Meta, is everyone okay with this? Adam Shaw asks. Meta is using your Instagram photos to train its amazing AI image generator. Okay, and Meta, I think of Meta as Facebook's like their virtual world attempt, but the truth is that Meta is the new name of the company, and I forget that it's the owner of Instagram and Facebook and some other stuff. Okay. These social platforms we used to share our work and market our businesses started out as communities, but are actively harvesting our skills and our experience to their own profit without any recompense at all. recompense. Okay, and here is Johan, our reply to it. Johan, okay. Johan, probably. This is worth banging the drum for again. What Instagram users signed up for? Post content eyeballs, which Meta sell for ads. So you bring a community together and you get enough people and you can sell ads to advertisers. And then Meta strips out the meta data such as geologic or geolocation to preserve user integrity, but they also strip out copyright information. And because of the network effect, you know, I'm on Facebook. I go to the B groups and some other stuff, but mainly the B groups. And the network locks you in, but what can you do, right? But what Meta really entails is a direct derivative of millions of copyrighted works. So you can see copyrighted works, including your own work. I used to post these live streams on YouTube, but I don't anymore, or on Facebook, but I don't anymore. Second order derivatives compete directly for eyeballs on the platform, and they also compete directly against the original off platform for merchandise sales and stuff. AI influencers already crowd the top spots, and prompt slop already powers viral feeds. Okay, not to mention the fine print you never read for the technological reality that didn't exist, and the business model they didn't have can only reasonably seen to apply if it was even you posting your content in the first place, which it probably wasn't. Okay, and so some comments about this, and we have Dr. Augustine Fu and myself giving it a like. Is everyone actually okay with this? That's the question this thing asks. Johan asks. Really means, is anyone actually surprised by this? And the answer is no. Okay, training on publicly available data obscures the reality of processing all of the copyrighted works listed for sale on all of the most popular art marketplaces. Okay, so they can basically, they've come up with a way to steal all the images on the internet, and Johan replies that maybe they should charge you if you don't want your stuff public. When I started on the internet, my philosophy was everything you put up here is going to get stolen. So that was prescient, wasn't it? And I remember they stole one of my deer photos. Now, I had gotten that from somewhere else, but still, I had gotten permission to use it, and they hadn't. So that happened to me early in the late 90s. So here's some that are built from no AI and anti-scrape first principles. This one has opt-out registries and anti-scrape tools, and so does the University of Chicago Sand Lab, who built Nightshade and Glaze. So there are some repositories that won't necessarily peddle your work and steal from you, but if that weren't enough, Meta advertisers are adrift in adversity as bug-filled problems persist. Okay, this is from DigiDay, Crystal Scanlon. And Max Langolis, founder and CEO of performance marketing agency Hype 10, for example, said that it's like going around in circles. You don't hear anything when you file a complaint, and if they do agree that it was a bug that caused something, they're offering you credits, not repaying what you paid for extra stuff. On February 14th, 30 out of 37 advertisers they manage had CPMs, cost per thousands, shot up from an average of 15 to 150 for about an hour. And what's interesting is down further in the article it says that The reach, here it says, the reach was similar, but the CPMs were so high that we basically got charged 10x. And it's down in farther in the article, it seems like they accidentally posted like 10 times more ads for these companies than they really wanted. And so they charged them 10 times for the same basic repeat of the ads. In the infinite pool of fictitious viewers that the internet provides for you. Anyway, the bottom line is they got charged 10x. Instagram or Meta admitted it, that, oh, here it is, that this was called over delivery. So they didn't say we charged you 10 times more for the same amount of ads. It was that we delivered 10 times more goods than you ordered. And it was fixed the next day, but they still haven't communicated officially on it. Meta has proven time and time again that they're probably not going to do right by the advertisers and the small businesses in this scenario. And you know, I was thinking about this AI world or virtual world, and I'm thinking, does anybody advertise on that? But it turns out that it's Facebook probably and Instagram. Since September 23, Meta advertising has been a mess, and Q1 has been the worst in my 5 years of experience, said Rock Hladnik, manager of Flat Circle Agency. Endless bugs, overspending, underspending errors multiple times each month. It's been awful, he said. Okay, and those at the Meta offices in Europe are even more clueless. Meta is the best ROI thanks to its ubiquitous reach. Again, this is where the wheels came off, and I'm thinking this can't be that virtual world. It's got to be the Facebook. And yes, they do have a lot of reach, although I don't scroll my feed, so I don't hardly ever see ads. I just go to posts on groups that I follow or that I'm in, and they don't put ads in there. That's an idea. More and more marketers are set on the idea of not wanting to spend any more money on Meta, and some are even considering alternatives. Okay, what do you know? And if you're considering an alternative, I say try mail, because mail, we know who we mailed, because we know it gets delivered. We know it goes to a decision maker, right? Because not anybody can just throw out the mail. Mail has to be delivered. It has to be disposed of. Mail does not throw itself away. And that's enough points. And because of that, we can use mail for machine learning in a way that no other advertising channel can. So Salam Agbator, co-founder of the tattoo skincare brand Mad Rabbit, I don't make these up, I really don't, said his team has been reducing spend on Meta by about 20 to 25%, and it hasn't impacted revenues as much as they thought it would, presumably not by this much. Okay, and they didn't want to be reliant on just one platform. It helped us to have a testing budget. Okay, so if you want a testing budget, I'll explain to you how you can put some of that money into mail. Give me a call, join the WDMA. I do fractional CMO work, and I also do just, ad hoc consulting. The whole industry wants to diversify. There's no question about that, right? And then at the end, Eric Schufer said, when direct-to-consumer marketing teams see return on ad spend decline, they blame a systematic flaw that will result in long-term platform abandonment. So they blame the platforms that they're using, which is their choice to do. And when they see the return on ad spend increase, they ask for raises. Okay, now return on ad spend is a very, very ethereal metric, right? We never used that in direct mail until people started using retail order processing platforms, and then they went to that, which was a big mistake. But in the real days of direct mail, we looked at basically EBITDA, bottom line profit, right? We took out the cost of mailing, we took out the cost of goods, we took out the cost of order processing, and the money we had left better be positive, right? Because that's the profitability. And I've had digital marketers look me in the eye and say, well, we sold way more than we spent on advertising. Yeah, okay. Not taking into account cost of goods or overhead. And that's a recipe for disaster, which we don't make in direct mail. Okay, so lastly, I want to talk about Craig Huey's excellent article on, and let's make sure this is working because I'm not sure it is. Yeah, it's working. Okay, there it goes. Oh, I got to go like this. Got to get back to this. Yeah, okay. We can see it. So Craig Huey says, now it messed it up. Okay, now we got it fixed. Avoid using the passive voice. Now, I would have loved to see Craig. I tried to think of how to rewrite avoid the passive voice as a passive voice headline, right? One might consider avoiding the passive voice. That would be a passive voice headline, right? Or even you might consider, or you should consider, right? Avoiding, see, that's an infinitive or something. I don't know what preposition. I get confused on this. But I know that when I started copywriting for real, I had a lot to learn. And I learned to write formally in grad school. And in philosophy, you always wanted to qualify the statement before you told anybody what you really believed. So one might consider my position to be elusive and even evasive. But while that may or may not be the case, I know better than to tell you Luddites what I actually think. So anyway, that's the way we used to write. Subjunctive clauses in the beginning and all kinds of passive voice. And they're right. You want to basically think of your person and think about saying, go get the mail. Subject, verb, object. And you can put you buy refrigerator now. Okay, imperative. So you want to, don't write the kit will be forwarded to you immediately. Will be. See, you don't want those. You don't want the bees in there. Should be, could be, would be, none of those. Will be is better than those. The kit will be forwarded to you immediately. Instead, write, I'll send you your kit now. I send kit. Subject, verb, object, exclamation. Okay, that's a good tip. Anyway, have a good day. Sorry I went so long. I don't really care that much. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. I'm only doing this twice a day. I got to make the most of it for you guys. Right? Right.